Patrick Cummins, of course, back in the program. Bigger mustache than last time. Still missing a tooth. The You love that mustache years, right? I've been obviously I follow you on social networks, so you've been posting a lot of stuff on just on that mustache.
I love the mustache. It's a source of all power. I gotta I gotta thank it.
Did you get a mustache sponsor this time around?
No mustache sponsor.
I
Still
think
looking.
I think that Mod Cabin would definitely want to get you on board. I'll try and get you connected with them. They're a great
Yeah.
company. The companies I use, and they got all sorts. They have like mustache wax and all
All
that
right.
stuff that you use. You can twirl it up and look all goofy or goofier than you do.
I'm always looking for something good. So
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
Let's talk about Long Island. You spent most of your time in Florida, so obviously you're the 3 hour time change from LA doesn't matter because Florida's on the
Yeah.
same time zone.
Yeah, exactly.
How was training with Neal Neal Melanson for this fight?
Man, training with Neal like blows my mind. I'm always just like, how did I not know this stuff? Like, how have I fought for so long without knowing some of this stuff? And it's all like, for lack of a better term, it's kind of common sense stuff. Like, and it fits into my, I'm really comfortable with just about everything that he shows because it's all wrestling based.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how I did without it for so long.
The is Neal? He's been. I saw he traveled just a little bit ago, and he was super sick coming back from his trip. Is he coming? Is he cornering you?
Yeah.
Okay, so he got back. For most folks that don't know, just look up Neal Melanson and you realize he's got 9 toes. He had 1 toe removed. And he's got a blood disease that causes him when he travels. It makes him sicker. So sometimes he can't make every corner. So there wasn't enough time. I was concerned there wasn't enough time between his last trip and this trip to get stuff
I know,
together.
yeah. I was too, actually. But he was supposed to come in yesterday with me, but we bumped his flight around so he'd get an extra day to chill.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you come with the game plan for Gian Villante? Did you have it when you showed up, or was it something that you and Neal sat down and said, okay, let's try to work on this one together?
Yeah, I mean, we did sit down and talk about it, but everything we both said was already, we were right on the same page with it. So it was like, just stick to the wrestling grind and make them quit.
What did you have to tweak for this training camp? Because I know every training camp is something a little bit different that has to happen because a different opponent in front of you. What did you do differently?
Right. Just kind of just knowing a couple of his tendencies and kind of adjusting things a little bit that way. But for the most part, I mean, it's a fight for me that is let's take it to the ground and let's grind them up and find a finish. So it's not a very different game plan than I usually have, but it's just kind of, as you get further along in the fight game, everybody wants to change. And I've went through that where I was like, oh, I'm going to stand here and strike with this guy. And it just doesn't make sense because it's not comfortable. And yeah, like I want to showcase my skills as a striker, but that stuff will come. And, like if I'm feeling it, I'm feeling it. But otherwise it's my game plan's always take them down, beat them up and get the win.
So has training camp becoming a grind? I mean, all training camps become a grind because it's basically the same thing over and over again. But are you still enjoying the training portion of the training camp, getting ready for these fights?
Yeah, I am, and I think a lot of that is like changing things up. And with Neal, he always wants to add. Like I have like 4 or 5 go-to submissions that I feel really good with, and I feel like every time I'm around him for a couple weeks at a time, I'll pick up something else. And it's just kind of adding to that, knowing what's going to be there, and then you can kind of shift your focus on onto those things. But I'm still enjoying it, and it's I didn't know, honestly, I didn't know. Like at a certain point, I was like, man, this is getting old. I'm not getting to where I want to be, and I'm not, like I think everybody gets that, but I think switching things around that way with Neal and making things making things a little different has changed my attitude a lot.
No, I've got to ask, have you been working on your boxing quite a bit? Because I know there was for a while, you said it earlier that hey, I want to stand here and bang with this guy because I got better boxing skills. But your defense isn't, your striking is getting better, but your defense really hasn't caught up to par. And of course, your 4 losses are all by KO or TKO. So it's like, that's how you're going to lose if somebody has to, they literally have to hit you in the head with a bat to make you stop coming. We joke about it, but that is literally how they have to put you down. Yeah. Have you been working on your defense to stop from getting hit so much?
Yeah, that's been a definite focus. But I mean, not to say that I haven't been, changing things up with a little technique wise when it comes to throwing punches too. I've been doing that, but yeah, like defense has been a focus, and it's for the most part it has to do with my feet, and being in the right place is super important to me. Like not get sucked into that mid range where it's going to be a brawl. That's it's stupid. So a lot of it that way, but then obviously parrying punches, move my head, all that kind of stuff. That's been more of a focus, definitely.
So how's your weight? I mean, you're obviously there. You're getting ready, but is it? Are you still? You're not cutting that much weight at all, are you?
No, I don't cut a ton. I cut probably 25 pounds altogether, and I never get overweight. I never get over 230. So
okay,
and I'm always kind of in shape. So my cut's not hard. I know a lot of guys, they come down from like 50 or 4, 40. So my weight cut's always pretty easy. I don't look sucked out and feel like crap. So.
What do you normally weigh going into the cage fight night?
Right around 25.
Okay.
30. Yeah. That's why I like to stay around that weight, because I know I can bounce right back up to it, and that's I train at the weight that I'm going to fight at.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
So how was the trip over? How was the travel over? I mean, it's a short flight, and it doesn't take that long to get over from Florida. So.
Yeah, I mean, I had a middle seat. So.
What? Hold
on. I was like, guys, what are you doing? Why am I sitting in the middle? I specifically request an aisle every time, and somehow I got the middle, and I couldn't sweet talk him either at the airport.
Why? I mean,
I don't know.
Man, I have so many questions but I already know all the answers, and that's the problem. Like, well, so who booked the ticket? Well, the UFC did. Well, who put you in the middle seat? Well, the UFC did. Why didn't they just pay the extra ticket for you having in the aisle? Because they just didn't do it. Like, it's like this constant thing. Yeah. All right. Well, you got there. You're okay. It wasn't like your middle seat all the way from New York to Hawaii. That's a long flight.
Well, I lucked out because a little kid sat next to me, so. I was all in this business. Yeah.
You got to give us all the information. You can't just leave us with part of the information. Oh, middle seat. But I had a little person on one side of me and a 6-year-old kid on the other side of me. Like, that's not a middle seat. Man, just sit on a couch. Yeah. What the hell is wrong with you? Hold on. How old was the kid?
I'd say he was probably 8 years old.
Okay, so still small. Was it really an 8-year-old, or was it an adult that had the mind of an 8-year-old?
No, it was definitely an 8-year-old.
Okay, all right. See, you had space then, so shut your mouth.
Yeah.
No, he was fine for the 20 minutes you were in.
But you know what? It was the last person to come in the seat, so I was sitting there kind of sweating it, like, man, who's walking up? I hope this 400-pound lady isn't coming to sit next to me.
I've had that happen, man. Just we're like, oh, great, I'm gonna have this whole row to myself. This is gonna be awesome. But all of a sudden, this couple comes in there, and the average weight of each of them is over 400 pounds. You're like, man, this is not good. And even if you're on the aisle or the window, it doesn't matter. Like, no matter how, you can't lean enough to get space. Yeah. I understand it. So what are you going to do after the fight's over? Are you going to stay in New York for a little while and kind of tour around the city? Or are you going to try and get right back and fly out Sunday morning?
You know what? Like, over my time fighting, I've decided that making plans after a fight is always a bad idea. So because you just never know, and it's like, you don't want to have expectations, you know what I mean? So I'm heading out Sunday morning.
Okay.
Out of here. Yeah.
And where are you heading? Where are you going back to?
I'll go back to California.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if you were in the process of moving everything from Cali to Florida to make that your permanent spot. Is there a shot of you, or is there a potential of you going there and staying close by to Florida the whole time?
Yeah, that's the next step. but
Okay.
it was just kind of, like the whole Black Zillions thing. Like the coaches split up. I didn't know where everybody was going to land, so I was like, I'm not moving across the country so I can move again. So
Yeah.
I waited it out.
And that hurt the team. It hurt the squad as a whole because they even have guys that are trained back and forth between Henry and between Neal, and they're going back and forth, and it's becoming this as opposed to having it all in one spot. But I mean, it's the nature of the sport. Coaches want to have their own spot, do their own thing.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thanks, Pat, for coming out here, man. I really appreciate it. Have fun this weekend. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, man. Of course. Yeah, man. Thanks. Always good to talk to you.
You got it. We'll talk soon.
Yeah. Get that beard. Turn that thing into a mustache. Well, just for me.
I can't. Like I got it. This is how I get my money. This is how I make my money. Like this, yeah, they if I walk in with this beard on, they either like it or they go, okay, we need to shave it to this weird, whatever they got to make it look like. So they trim it up and shave it. But if I don't have it, it's much harder to work.
You need a blank canvas.
I need a blank canvas. Yeah.
All right, I understand.
All right, bud. Have a good time. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, bro.